What is going on today, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Today, I wanted to talk about the concept and the strategy behind picking your battles when it comes to working extra on overtime and how that can benefit you financially, obviously. And I wanted to, as an example of that, showcase a paycheck that I had, and it is my highest grossing paycheck that I've had while I've been here thus far at Gemini. So you can pause the video here later on and I'll post a screenshot of that and you can check out all the details, all my nets, all my deductions, all that jazz. So what do I mean by picking your battles? Well, depending upon your schedule, and again, this is going to vary company to company, but here at Gemini, you're either going to be on a 4-day schedule or a 5-day schedule. You're either going to work 4 days on, 3 days off, or 5 days on, 2 days off. And what happens time to time is there's upswing in the market and there's an extra demand for fuel, for gasoline, diesel, doesn't matter. And they will need people to work extra. Now, generally what happens with that, depending upon how severe the demand gets, often your boss will send out a group text or message you guys in your regions channel in Slack and say, hey, we need people in these areas to let me know if they can work extra because of XYZ reasons. Now, if he doesn't get enough people who volunteer, what happens then is they will then tell you who is and who is not working mandatory overtime. Now, if it's severe enough, if the demand is high enough, they will just put you in your specific region on mandatory overtime. Last December, several regions were put on mandatory overtime for most of the entire month. So it does happen. And this for me is where picking your battles comes into play. Now, I made a video a few weeks ago about how generally, besides my 5 days of work, I don't like to volunteer for a 6th day of overtime. And again, I made my own reasons for that. So if you're wondering why, go ahead and check that video out. But long and the short of it is I like my weekends, and generally, 55 to 60 hours a week is plenty enough, which is what I normally get for a 5-day work week. Now, personally, I would rather just cut this off at the pass and tell my boss, hey, I can work this day or that day for extra overtime if you need me. And that way, he at least has the opportunity to say, yes, I need you, this day or that day. Now, this happened a few weeks ago where my boss asked us if we could work extra. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to volunteer for this day and during the 4th of July weekend, because here's where it comes into play as far as strategy behind it. I was already scheduled to work the 4th of July, and I wasn't planning on taking a vacation that week. Now, here at Gemini, we get paid for 6 holidays, and 4th of July is one of them. You get paid an extra 10 hours of straight pay, or regular time, not overtime, but regular time on top of your normal hours, regardless of if you actually work that holiday or not. If you're scheduled off, for example, if it fell on my normal weekend day, which it doesn't this year, but had 4th of July fallen on a Thursday this year, I would have gotten the holiday pay regardless. But since I was already working, I decided to use this strategically and say, you know what, I'm going to work a 6th day during the 4th of July, so I get ideally over 70 hours or about 70 hours, as much as I can on that paycheck, and get an additional 10 hours of regular time. So that is how I managed to get this paycheck, which I'll put on the screen now, and you can pause the video and check out all the details. So obviously I grossed over $3,600, almost $3,700, and I took home just over $2,700. So this is why it can be beneficial to pick your battles in the sense of letting your boss know ahead of time that you can work these days for overtime or, extra days, versus, just staying quiet and then being told when to work when it may or may not be additionally beneficial for you. Because if you're going to work a 6-day, you might as well make the most of it and make the most money. At least that's just my personal opinion. You guys can tell me I'm wrong, or you can, disagree with me and just say, no, I'm getting out of there as early as I can on my 6-day. Totally fine. And let me know in the comments section below as well. Just wanted to throw that idea of picking your battles out there, because sometimes you have that option. Sometimes you have the advantageous timing to throw in holiday pay or whatever else you're given at your specific company for working a specific day in, along with the extra overtime. Now, sometimes that's not the case, and sometimes you just kind of have to embrace the suck of, getting put on mandatory overtime for a certain period of time, and it is what it is. But hey, at least at that point, hopefully, if you are on mandatory overtime, you're making the most of it. You're extending yourself out as much as you can, and you're banking that money. And again, this is just my personal take. I've been told by other people that they would rather, get told to work certain days than actually be able to pick when they're working if they have to work extra. But it is what it is, and that's their choice. With that being said, that's about it for today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree, disagree, if you do the same thing, or if you just, let your boss try and pull you into work, if that is what it takes for him to get you into work an extra day. So that's certainly the case with some of my coworkers. So, but you guys have a good one. If you want me to cover any other topics, please let me know in the comment section down below as well. Otherwise, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. God bless.